Once upon a time, there was a father who raised his children alone. When his son grew up, the father sent him abroad for his studies. But the father fell seriously ill. Thinking he might die without seeing his son again, the father wrote a will. The content of the will was to leave all his wealth to a slave, but to give his son just one thing that he desired. When the father passed away, the slave, overjoyed at his fortune, ran to the son to deliver the news of his father's death. He then handed over the will. The son, shocked by the news from the slave, fell into deep sorrow. But when he read the will, he couldn't hide his confusion. After the father's funeral, the son went to see his teacher and said, "Why didn't my father leave me any of his wealth? As far as I remember, I never caused him trouble. What could have been the reason for this?" The teacher replied, "Your father was truly wise. You can tell how much he loved you from this will. Even though he left all his wealth to a slave and didn't leave me anything. Are you saying that he loved me? I can't help but think it was a foolish act, and I don't feel any affection from him." You need to learn from your father's wisdom. Once you understand his true feelings, you'll realize that you inherited a great legacy. Your father was worried that since you weren't home, the slave might take the wealth and run away, waste it, or even not inform you of your father's death. So, he gave all his wealth to the slave. The slave, delighted, would inform you of the news, and ultimately, the wealth would come to you. I still don't understand his intentions. Young people lack wisdom. Don't you know that a slave's wealth belongs to the master? Your father clearly stated that he would give you just one thing that you wanted. So, all you had to do was choose the slave. What a wise and loving thought. Only then did the young son understand his father's deep intentions. Following his teacher's advice, he freed the slave. From then on, the young son always said, "Indeed, the wisdom of older adults is something we cannot surpass."